Welcome to Mindfully Chaotic. I'm Amanda Marie, New England-based intuitive healer, community builder, manifestation artist, and founder of Wicked Smart Wellness. Life is a journey unique to each and every one of us, with ups and downs and curves and an infinite amount of possibilities. I know firsthand what it's like to feel defeated, but I've learned how to challenge life and create opportunities in abundance for myself as I move forward down any and every path I choose. My intention is to guide you to harness your own power to create for yourself the journey that you thought was only possible in your dreams. Growth does not need to happen alone, so between myself and occasional guests from the community, I will share with you the tools to shift your mindset, strengthen your intuition, and bring forward all of your intentions. When you live and speak your truth, what you say and do will manifest. Thank you for listening to Mindfully Chaotic. Hello. It's me, Amanda Marie, and welcome back to the first in a very long time solo episode of Mindfully Chaotic. So, look at my messy little closet office. Listen, before you say anything, I don't want to hear it. It's literally a closet. So, given those circumstances, I think I'm doing pretty good. No, I'm just kidding. I'm saying that to myself to make myself feel better, but I definitely would like to get better about keeping it organized in here. But that's not necessarily the point of today's episode, or maybe it is. Kinda. So today we are actually talking about finding strength in chaos, because you may or may not have noticed the little hiatus of Mindfully Chaotic that has been taken, and I kind of want to get into why that is and what's going on, because I am all about sharing the authentic, like, raw moments of the journey. That's the whole point of what I'm doing here. So, and I have some really big things happening right now in the works, and I am getting ready to really put some cool things out there, and it's just incredible. But I decided before I jump into that and just pop back up with everything, where I left off, just go in and like rolling back into, some type of routine or whatever. I wanted to kind of give you a little bit of the background. I mean, this is not like me to have written some stuff down. As you know, a lot of things that I do are intuitive and very in the moment. And I am now learning that there is a way to find a balance between doing that and also still planning. Hence, Mindfully Chaotic. Look at me figuring it out myself as I go. It's almost like I do this because I need to hear it or something. Anyway, in order to talk about that, I decided I was debating doing just a sound bit, since it's just me, versus a video. But I like sharing these on my YouTube channel, not just on, podcast platforms. So I figured I would do a video of me reorganizing some of the chaos in this little closet office that I have here, while we talk about how to find strength in chaos and what that means. So, rewind a little bit. We're going like 2 years back now. Mindfully Chaotic was on a roll. I was pumping out episodes weekly. I was actually recording them and then just posting them pretty much right away, not going in and editing them. Maybe I would take a clip and move it to the front, but really it was just raw. It was quick. It was spur of the moment. I was finding my guests pretty much the day of, and boy, did I find some great guests. I have had some incredible guests so far, and I'm so grateful for everyone that has joined me here on the show, and for our listeners who have been listening thus far as well. But you know what? I am evolving. The show is evolving. It's time to do things a little bit differently. I have been plotting and planning, and I have some incredible guests lined up. I'm actually in the process of recording some episodes with a few different reality TV show celebrities. I also have a couple of like local and non-local to me. And I say local, I'm from Boston. I'm in New England. So when I say local, I'm usually talking about some fellow Bostoners. But I am meeting and chatting with some people from all different places. But I do have some local Boston scene food influencers coming on the show, and a few other just high profile guests that I'm super excited about. And I realized that it took momentum, it took confidence, it took motivation. There was a lot of stuff behind the scenes that led to me being able to get to the point of doing this. And I decided that I wasn't going to go on a year-long hiatus of not posting between season 1 and season 2 to post one episode, which was awesome, by the way. If you didn't get a chance to look at or listen to, well, look or listen to, because both options are there, to episode 1 of season 2, Hesitation vs. Hero Nation with Asher Wright. That was a great episode. And it's been about 11 months since that. I actually have recorded a second episode with a guest for season 2 prior to this one that I planned on releasing like a few months ago, and there was a lot of technical difficulties. I wasn't truly in the right place yet. I still wasn't ready to be consistent. The motivation wasn't there. You know, I was like laying in the lows, and I wasn't ready to really flow with the highs. So I needed to get myself out of that place and into a space to be able to put this out there. So I decided, instead of just popping up and taking all of these incredible guests that I have lined up for season 3, surprise, season 3 is already in the works, because what I'm doing here is I am actually going to wrap up season 2 with a few solo episodes, including today's, which is about strength and chaos, the next one, which is about confidence and chaos, a following one about building and chaos, and then a season 2 finale of Mindfully Chaotic favorite moments and quotes chosen by me, Amanda Marie. Although if you've had any that you want me to highlight, something that's resonated with you, something you found funny, something you found inspirational, motivational, something that has stuck out to you that either I said or a guest from one of my episodes in the past, feel free to let me know about it. I would love to throw it into that season finale. But so over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be pumping out these episodes while I am also recording the episodes for season 3, because I do have a lot of those appointments on the calendar and ready to go. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Things are going to be a little bit different. A lot of us are going to be meeting up in person and doing some fun activities when possible. Some of the recordings will still be virtual depending on where we all are and, you know, the convenience, because that's the cool thing about what being able to utilize you know, virtual, like social media and like online connections. We're able to do it from all different places around the world. And that's one of the things I do love about Mindfully Chaotic. It has been super cool to have so many guests from different places. So I never, ever want to lose sight of that. And I intend to always welcome people from different areas. And though I will admit, season 3 is very Boston heavy. We have a lot of Boston natives who have done big things that are going to be coming here to talk to me, and I'm super excited about it. But with that being said, I'm going to keep just like randomly seeing if I can find a little bit of organization here in my office, because I have some work I have to get done, and I work better when I set the space for myself. So that's kind of one of the first tips I want to share for you about finding strength in chaos. So a lot of times when we're busy and we're going through things, even if we're keeping certain areas of our life in order and intact, it's easy for you know, other areas for us to lose sight of those or lose control of them. So if we're focusing super heavily on staying in control of one thing, it's easy to lose control of another. And that's okay, but because it happens, obviously. But truly, when you want to get back on track and into a routine, it's 10 times more helpful to have an organized space for yourself to work out of. Even if what organization to you looks different than what organization to someone else looks like. As long as it's organized in a way that fits you, that's what we need here. And you know, while I was cleaning stuff up, I knocked over this little deck of think cards. It's supposed to give you a few little like prompts of things to think about. So I just feel like I want to see if any of these resonate. Oh my God, it's right here. This one, perfect. It says, name an area of your life where you would like to practice being more open-minded. And that's quite literally what I'm doing right now, because it's always been really important to me to be true to who I am, to be authentic with my work, to show you the real me, to share all of the moments, the good, the bad, the ugly, the pretty, just all of it, and to get raw and authentic, because life is chaotic and can be messy sometimes, and it can be a little scary. And it's nice to know that we have other people around us who have pushed through adversity and chaos to be able to overcome that and do the things that they love to do, bring forward the things that they want to bring forward, their goals, their intentions, create the reality that they dream of, that they want to live in. So I personally am realizing that even that is what mindfully chaotic means. It's whatever the chaos looks like for you, finding a way to be mindful within that, even if it doesn't make sense to someone else, as long as it makes sense to you. So for me, I am learning that my level of scheduling, planning, and organization still doesn't need to be the typical the typical way that it is for everyone else. It can be done my way. So I am currently working on figuring out what that means for me, but it definitely involves being a little bit more being a little bit more dedicated to making commitments and scheduling. Sometimes I have a tendency of having a fear of committing to things that when I'm not really sure like what the outcome will be, like hence my podcast, always doing everything spur of the moment, raw and real, was super cool and all, but it also is very difficult to stay in a consistent routine with that. I mean, if you do it and that works for you, that's great. But I'm starting to realize that if I was going to up level this and have it reflect the work that I've been doing and the evolution that myself, my business, my art has all been going through, then it would be time for me to. It's time for me to like actually commit commit to some consistency, some routine, some, and you guys can see some level of organization, which to me still involves. I mean, I am like I said, I'm still figuring it out as you see me moving piles from place to place. If this area kind of represents a little bit of like the chaos of what's going on right now for me, like more specifically than I can even put into words, because it actually has um, some of the candles that I've been working on here, my meditation candles. They're not medication candles, they're meditation candles. So like some of my creative projects, some of the stuff that I use like for my Reiki practice, some of my Wicked Smart swag, some of my personal things, like everything's just kind of in here. So I'm trying to give it a place and a space, but it's a good representation of kind of where my brain's at, because I have so many things that I want to do and want to focus on. So how did I find the strength in the chaos? So I've been like going through a lot of personal things that involve family, health, just like just the reality of living as an adult in this society. There's been like a lot of stressors coming down on me, and luckily I have a really cool therapist who I talk to, and she helps a lot. It's nice to be able to bounce thoughts off of her and either get validation or reminders of different ways to look at things if I am in a place where validation isn't the answer, if you know what I'm saying. But with that being said, I that's one of the other tips I have about finding strength in chaos. It's finding a support system. So I have awesome friends, awesome family, an awesome community of clients, collaborators, coworkers, just people who I've come together with and met. But the thing is, sometimes when you're really going through it, you need an outside perspective. So I think that finding a support system that works for you, knowing that it's not going to be someone or something that triggers you with their reaction. Like if you're coming to them and you're going through something and maybe you need to vent and you don't want a solution to be thrown your way, but there's someone who is solution heavy and they want to help you and they mean so well and they want to help you, but that's just not what you need. That's on you to be aware of that, because if we're reaching out to people for support, then it's on us to be aware of the type of support that they're able to offer us versus what we're looking for, deciding if it's what we want or what we need. So just like anything else, no one else is responsible for our feelings. No one is responsible for our actions. No one is responsible for us but us. But we are allowed to reach out and get support from community, from friends, from physicians, practitioners, people online. You know what I mean? There's like lots of avenues, and it's super important to find what works best for you and to know what makes you comfortable. Because for me, I had a lot of stuff going on, and I had a lot of people who always wanted to give me solutions and advice, but I realized that what I actually needed was to sit with it all and to go through it and to let myself feel a lot of the stuff that I was feeling without giving but without like any guilt, by giving myself grace, honoring myself where I'm at in my journey. That was super important for me. And over time, it got to the point where I finally was able to start considering solutions about how to take the next steps and move forward. but I couldn't do that until I was actually ready to do that. It's seriously important to make sure that we're not, just like with anything else, timing truly is everything. Now, do we have day-to-day stuff that we may have to get through that we can't put off, that we can't wait to take care of? Absolutely. But that's the thing. If that's all you can get done sometimes, that's fine. But the goal is to eventually move forward and start, bringing forward the things and like doing the things you want to do. Honestly, manifestation, we talk about this often, right? I talk about how there's no magic word. You don't wave a magic wand. There's not, there's nothing woo woo about manifestation, even though we actually tend to put it in that category quite often. Manifestation, by definition, is the physical embodiment of a thought, purpose, or idea. So it's literally taking something from in here, or from on paper, or from just any scenario that doesn't exist yet, and creating it, allowing it to happen, making it, which means putting the work in. And quite honestly, even if we are putting daily work in for ourselves and we're like taking little steps, which is what we should be doing, taking little steps, taking things one step at a time. If we're putting that daily work in, but we're not actually in the place where we're ready to receive and, run with the reality that we've been working on creating, then it's not going to come to us yet because we're not ready to handle it. That's why I always say we got to feel, then we got to heal, then we get a deal. Yeah, is that the order I say it in? I think it is. If it's not for right now, that's the order that I'm saying it in, because we got to feel what we're feeling, allow ourselves to feel with it. Then we got to allow ourselves to heal from it. And then we can deal with the things that we want to deal with and that we got to deal with. And like I said, we got to pay the bills. You got to get up and go to work. If that's all you can do that day, that's fine. And if you can't even do that day, that's also fine. I mean, hopefully you're able to find the help and support you need to be able to get you to a place where you are able to get done little things throughout the day. But if you're there, there's no shame. As humans, we've all found ourselves there. And if you say you haven't, good for you. I'm not going to question you and call you out. Only you know how your life has been going for you. But it's very rare that we find a human who hasn't been in a position where they have just been like, how do I even go on from here? But one of the things I always want to remind you, and this is another tip about finding strength in chaos, is remembering that it's all a part of life. It's all a part of the journey. You've been knocked down before and you've got up, and you will keep getting up, and you will be able to keep going again when it is that you're ready to. So with that being said, I try to keep these solo episodes short and sweet. I'm not going to go on too much. I think I pretty much got out a lot of what I was thinking. So, some of those, like, just to kind of recap, some of those tips about finding strength in chaos is allowing yourself to sit with it, feel what you need to feel, figure out what it is that's working for you and not working for you, getting the support system that you need. And if it's not there for you yet, don't give up. I mentioned having a therapist who helps me. Just for the record, I had multiple before her who I did not feel like were benefiting me, my healing journey whatsoever, mostly because they were just kind of looking at me like, you're competent, you're healthy, you have a good head on your shoulders, you're pretty self-aware, like, I don't even know what to do. And they weren't, they were letting me vent, but I wasn't able to, find solutions to work with. And I'm finally in a space where I was able to bounce off of other people, what's this? Other people, to figure out like some of these solutions. I have some friends, some like-minded friends who have been going through some stuff, and we've all kind of been on the same page of really like focusing on accountability. So yeah, but some of these friends just, they're going through their own stuff. So they might not have been here at first, and now they are. Now we're ready to move. So guess the point that I'm getting at is, don't panic if I say find a support system and you're like, there's no one here. First off, if it's seriously to that degree where you don't feel like anyone's there, just reach out to me. Let's see if we can help find a support system for you, because I'm always here to help in any way that I can. That's like why I do this. So that's step one. Another step to finding strength in chaos was to find some bit of organization that works for you, even if it's not the type of organization that other people may find useful. If it works for you, that's literally all that matters. That's all that matters. Um, and yeah, finding a way to get like consistent with routine, even if it's little things one day at a time. If the goal is to eventually have a solid day of routine where you know exactly what you're doing every hour of the day, every minute of the day, that's great. If your routine consists of knowing that during the first half of the day you get done certain tasks versus the second half of the day you get done certain things, maybe that's what you do. There are lots of ways to get organized. You just got to figure out the method that works best for you. And we can get deeper into this on a topic like about organization. I think wait, did I say, was this on my list? Maybe I already had enough. No, so I didn't plan on that yet, but we will. Maybe I'll bring that back with a guest too. Who knows? We'll talk more about like finding your own method of organization. But yeah, finding strength in the chaos. That's where I'm at. I took some time. I went through some things. I'm still coming out of them, but I finally started to be able to find some strength in what I was doing, some strength in myself, from the community, from my art. Like I've been able to finally start piecing things together. And I realized that if I'm gonna put it all out here and I'm gonna show you guys the good, then I got to talk a little bit about the journey that it took to get there too. So that was today's tidbit on strength and chaos. And I will be back soon to talk to you about, again, I have to keep checking, let's say, about confidence and chaos. So when we start, that'll be kind of about how we'll start talking about like how I started taking the little wins that I was having and turning them into confident reminders and motivational things for myself to get myself moving and back in action. Like I said, what I have coming up for you guys is incredible. Hopefully you enjoy what I have for you between now and then, because I think it's a really big bridge that ties it all together. And I'm really excited about sharing it all with you. So thank you so much for tuning into another episode of Mindfully Chaotic. My name's Amanda Marie. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. And I look forward to continuing on this journey with all of you and for just everything that is happening and coming our way. So as I always say, when you live and speak your truth, what you say and do will manifest. So let's do it. We're all in this together. Let's figure out how to speak those truths. It starts by finding out what your truth is, and then it follows by just being true to yourself, being authentic with who you are, doing what you love, trusting in yourself, giving yourself grace, and just showing up for you, showing up for you, because you deserve to show up for you. And yeah, so that's that. One more time, I'm Amanda Marie. Thank you so much for listening or watching Mindfully Chaotic. Love and good vibes, everyone. Love and good vibes.